When we get together every 3 years, everything that is important for a Christian in our lives that needs to be thought about, decided about, work together in community, in the community of the church, is fair game. It's okay for a resolution. Because we really believe that it's okay to have these discussions even if we're going to argue about them. So we do not say, let us not talk about something, let us not raise something until it's already resolved at some other level. General Convention allows us to have those discussions all together in a representative democratic body, a bicameral legislature that gives bishops, a representative group of clergy, and a representative group of lay people an ongoing voice in the final decisions about what we, as the Episcopal Church, as a corporate body, should be. Now that means that we spend a lot of time on mission. And when we spend a lot of time on mission, we are talking about our relationship to other people. Mission is our relationship to other people. But in order to come to some conclusion about our relationship to other people, we have to have some agreement on who we are. And so we make decisions about who we are. We decide that women should participate in that governance. We didn't always believe that. And so for years, General Convention was a group of elected men. But women in society were concerned about their role and how it should change. And those women who had those concerns when they were Episcopalians wanted to make sure that the church that would inform them, right, would reflect those ideas. And so they argued with the men. And they had a place to argue with the men. And they argued with the men in General Convention. That meant they had to get some men to agree with them because the men got it to have this argument first. And the men decided that it was time to change. And that decision to change for lay people, for lay women, was culminated in 1970 when they were allowed to be elected. They were elected, and those elected women were allowed to sit at General Convention. At the same time that we were having those discussions about how we should be among ourselves, we were having discussions about how we should be with other parts of this country. And in the late 60s and early 70s, certainly the issue that came again and again before General Convention was how did we have a coherent mission strategy when it came to people of color in the United States. How were we as a church to reflect on the unfairness of racial discrimination? And of course, in order to do that, and while we did that, and while we came closer and closer to making the issue of civil rights and anti-discrimination a key function of what we did as a church, we had to reflect on all the racially segregated institutions that existed in the church at the same time. So sometimes General Convention got to do these things, sometimes they didn't. University of the South, what we nicknamed as Swanning, because it took a good deal of their faculty to resign from the university when the board refused to integrate the student body of that school. General Convention made statements about this and made statements about the integration for all institutions of the Episcopal Church. And so we dealt with both our mission strategy for everybody to everyone else and our internal strategy about how we should be.